There you see Coach Mauro Panazio headed for the locker room. Patio went to put the tying shot up for the quarter, couldn't get it done. Thunder lead at the half, 52-46. Both teams back out on the court here at the Mayo Civic Center, and we'll tell you how they reached that 52-46 total when we look at the individual scores, starting, of course, with the Quad City Thunder. You'll see that in just moments. The second half just about ready to get underway. Greg Jones with 14, Bowie with 12, coming off that fine night last night. Sandel with 8, Perry Young chipped in with 7, and Barry Sumter with 4.
And, of course, for the Flyers, it was Gerald Patio leading the way with 17 points, although he made numerous errors that almost counteracted that fine performance. Turner had chipped in 9, Warwick 6, Richmond and Costner both had 4 points.
Herb Blunt did get in for Coach Mauro Panazio's Quad City Thunder, but did not score. Field goal-wise, the Thunder shooting 45% from the field, 3 out of 4 as far as free throw shooting is concerned. Rebounds, 28 rebounds. They've got 15 turnovers here in the first half, and they are 0 for 3 from the three-point line. And when you take a look at the facts and stats for the Rochester Flyers, you'll see they're hitting 50%, 83% from the free throw line, 22 rebounds, out-rebounding the Thunder. They've got 19 turnovers compared to 15 for the Quad City Thunder, and they've hit 1 of 3 from the three-point circle. We'll come back and set the second half lineups for you in just a minute, but first, let's pause for these words on KLJB. The second half of Quad City Thunder basketball is brought to you by Blue Jack Auto Plaza, offering Chevys, Hondas, Mazdas, Nissans, Mercedes, Jaguars, and Hyundai. And by Meineke Muffler, American and foreign car specialist. And by Lindquist Ford. You get a lot of Lindquist at Lindquist Ford. And by Command Business, an exciting new approach to office automation. And by Geneseo Motors, we're worth the trip. Here's the play that saved that corner point for the Quad City Thunder. Gerald Patio will get the rebound, go back up, and Barry Sumter says hello. Bowie saves it, and that meant that it was 25-23 in favor of the Thunder in that second quarter. So they lead the game 52-46, and they have taken both quarters.
Kind of a sloppy first half for the Quad City Thunder, but, you know, I think that's been characteristic of how the team has played all season long. It seems like they play just well enough to get the job done.
Well, they're riding that 4-game winning streak and trying to make it 5. And, of course, the Quad City Thunder will stay overnight tonight and as well as Saturday night, because they're going to take on Rochester again on Sunday afternoon at 3:35.
And they've got a bad break in the scheduling, Jim. They played last night, they play tonight, they play Sunday, and now they're going to turn around and play that ESPN game on Monday. So that's 4 games in 5 days, and they've got to do it with only minimal rest between the 2 games.
We will set the lineups for you as we have them. Jumping center will be Tony Costner against Sumter. And the Flyers control the basketball. Turner gets it out to Patio. Is he hot? Yes, he's still hot.
Gerald Patio fields it tonight because he's putting it up from everywhere.
Patio had 17 at the intermission, and now it's a 52-48 ball game. It is Greg Jones and Bill Jones in the lineup, along with Chris Sandel, moving with the basketball, and we'll have a foul called in, what is it, offensive? Or
they're going to call a blocking foul, and it's going to be on Mike Richmond as he kind of gave him a slight hip check.
11:36, lots of time remaining here in the third quarter. Sandel with the move. Oh, that's pretty. That is pretty by Chris Sandel. He's got a nice touch for a big man.
And I'll tell you, if he was a couple of inches taller, you'd be seeing Chris Sandel be playing in the NBA. He's just a little bit short to play that power forward spot at 6'6".
Out front is Richmond, and he is fouled by the aforementioned Sandel. Sandel got him with that body. It's hard for Sandel not to get everybody with the body.
And, of course, both of them share a common experience. Both played at UTEP, University of Texas, El Paso, both Sandel and Mike Richmond. Richmond's a real story here. He was Rochester Rookie of the Year last season, does a lot of community work in the area. shoots a little over 62% on the season from the foul line.
He's a strong one, and on that first free throw, a bit too strong. He's trying to cut into that 6-point Thunder lead, and he can't buy it. Sumter had it, lost it, but the Thunder still regained control. Knocked out of bounds by Tony Costner. Anthony Bowie also in the starting five for Coach Mauro Panazio here in the second half. Down low to Sandel. He wants to clear out. Now he'll just take the 17th footer. Too hard. Costner had the rebound, lost it, but it's picked up. Oh, Sandel went over and back. Sandel went over and back.
And we got a player down, and it looks like it's Warwick. And I think he got his hand stepped on as he fell down. And I don't know if Sandel was the man that caught him, but unfortunately, Chris, with that large body of his, found himself going across the timeline, and there was nothing he could do at half court. Ended up getting called for over and back.
Bill Jones lends a helping hand to Warwick's ailing hand, and we're ready to get underway again.
And gee, I didn't know that Bill studied medicine at the University of Iowa.
Well, when you're this close to the Mayo Clinic, it's just
I guess
kind of rubs off, I think. One of the more famous hospitals, of course, in the world, and now a whistle and a foul away from the basketball, or I should say on the drive.
Warwick drew the foul, and it's going to go against Greg Jones.
That's Greg Jones' second foul, personal, and second team foul on the Thunder here in the third quarter. Yeah, both teams feeling each other out here in the third quarter, and almost a steal. And now Warwick threw it out of bounds, but last touch, they say, by the Thunder. Somebody got a hand on it.
That time the Flyers got a break because Turner slipped as he tried to go for the ball, went down, but one of the Thunder players just caught enough of it, deflected it out of bounds.
Thunder leading by 6. We're early in the third quarter. Jamal Brecht and Dan Kennedy, along with the KLJB crew. Long shot, Patio not there. Sandel almost tipped it in. Sandel went up for the rebound and almost tipped it in. Now the baseball pass to Jones, to Bowie, to Jones, count it up.
Nice play, and that's the way it's going to work. You don't put the ball on the floor, just back and forth, and got the easy bucket.
And now the Flyers throw it away. Patio trying to spot Turner on the wing, threw it too high. So an 8-point lead. Nobody's picking up Jones. Will it cost the Flyers? You bet it will.
And the Thunder come out hot here. They stretch that lead to 10 points again, and we've got an early timeout.
They've outscored the Flyers 6-2 here in the third quarter. And we'll take a break and be back live in Rochester, Minnesota after this. The Quad City Thunder are back up by 10, and the key to this play, Bill Jones kept on coming. It originally looked like an alley-oop for Anthony Bowie, but Jones kept on coming. Nice touchback pass back to him.
And coaches drool over plays like that when you can get the job done and not put the ball on the floor.
That, of course, the Flyer mascot. It's not one of our KLJB crew that you saw.
I thought he rode up in the back seat.
Inside to Costner, tipped away Jones. Jones, who leads the team in steals, gets another and makes the Flyers pay for it.
And the thing that's so deceptive about Bill Jones, you look at him, you look at his demeanor, he looks so low-keyed, so, laid back, and then suddenly Bill just springs out of nowhere and comes up with a steal.
Flyers better right themselves in a hurry. They're down by 12, down in the quarter, 8-2, and now taking it away is Sandel, but he flips it back in. Patio will forceful on the baseline. That's a bad shot. Good defense by Sumter. Costner was on the other side of the basket and got the tip. Jones squares up again and won't get the roll. Rebound comes down to Costner for the Flyers. They're trying to cut the Thunder lead to 8. Richmond, look out.
And Anthony Bowie looked like he wanted to draw the charging foul, and then he looked up and he said, well, maybe I don't want to draw that charging foul.
Well, at a time like that, you have two questions to ask yourself. Is basketball more important than life? Sandel at the other end.
And another power move. We've seen him do it since he joined the Thunder, and he's really made a difference with their inside game because that's what they lack. They lack somebody to score from inside.
So an exchange of slams, and it's back to a 10-point ball game. 8 minutes and 45 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Inside is Costner. Takes a shot, but it won't get it to fall, and Sumter comes out of there with a rebound. Sumter averaging 11 rebounds per game. Bowie, nice fadeaway.
He's got that push shot going. He likes to do a slight fadeaway. Rested on that one-hand jump shot, and he's red hot.
If Anthony Bowie were about 4 inches taller and just a little bit heavier, you wouldn't be watching him on this television network, I'll tell you that.
Well, heck, Jim, if you were 4 inches taller, no, you still wouldn't be much of a basketball player.
I'd still be here. Anthony Bowie has all the qualifications and all the skills. He just may not possess that size, and I know that a lot of people think that in the NBA defense is something that's ignored, but that's just the opposite is true. You've got to play defense in the NBA, or they don't want you up there. Unless, of course, you're an offensive threat a la an old George Gervin or somebody like that. Bill Jones, that's pretty, and the Thunder just aren't missing here in the third quarter. They're lighting it up. They're averaging 116 points per game, and right now they're sitting at 6-6, lead it by 14.
Bill Jones only had 4 points in the first half, but he has come out and he's found the range here in the early going in the third quarter.
Henry Turner's been quiet, gets it over to Costner, and a foul. That would have been a thunderous 2 had it not been for the personal foul. Barry Sumter picked it up. That's his third.
Sumter did the smart thing there. He fouled him before he got the easy 2 points. He's going to make him go to the foul line where, well, it's not really Tony Costner's game. He's shooting a respectable 64%.
Last night at the Thunder-Rockford game, I was talking to Alvin Gentry, who's a scout for the San Antonio Spurs, and of course, Barry Sumter was in the Spurs camp, and according to Mr. Gentry, the Spurs are kind of sorry they didn't give Sumter more of a chance because they really like his hustle. Of course, he doesn't possess that great shooting touch, but someday they believe, and a lot of folks believe, that with more experience, Barry Sumter will make it to the show.
I think a lot of Thunder fans have been impressed with the progress that Barry has made just during this season. He's really come a long way in a short time.
The Austin P. Governor. Everybody forgets what Austin P's nickname is because the first name is so good anyway. Greg Jones. Jones is open. This is Bill.
And he's just not missing here in the second half. That time he came off a screen down low, and nobody followed him out.
Now, the Flyers, they're giving up as far as if their man gets picked off, he's not coming up to help. Thunder by 15. Turner is fouled. No, he walked before. He walked before the contact. Bill Jones was reaching in, but Turner with that spin move didn't get away with it.
Bill Jones just can't do anything wrong here in the second half. He's 4 of 5 from the field. He makes the defensive plays, and he's red hot.
Again, if you're wondering where Ray Hall is, he is in attendance tonight, but he will not play with that sore Achilles heel. And as you already know, Corey Gaines,
he's got that strained knee, and he's going to be out. He's eligible to come back, I believe, next Tuesday.
Well, Jones finally cools off, and Bowie missed the rebound. Turner the other way. Well, this will be easy for Patio. It will also be spectacular for Patio.
Well, the Flyers seem to like to do those spectacular slam dunks when they're open. It's not bad, except that it's a team that's sitting 9-16 on the season.
Sandal inside. That is pretty, but he couldn't get it to fall. He had the good touch, just didn't get the kind bounce. Patio again. Nice pass, this time to Turner. Anthony Bowie is fouled as he makes a move along the baseline. The quarter standing right now. Actually, there was a timeout call by Mauro Panagio before Bowie made his move. So it's 16-11 in the quarter, Thunder in front, and 68-57. As you see, we'll come back with more live CBA basketball after this. Dan Kennedy back at the Mayo Civic Center to update you on the injury situation if you're not aware of it. Of course, everyone who follows the Thunder knows that Corey Gaines is out with that strained muscle in his right knee. Now, he is eligible to return to action on Tuesday. Whether or not he will be healthy enough to do that, we'll have to wait and see. As far as Cedric Henderson, who has an upper right ankle sprain, he is eligible to return on Wednesday. Again, the same status. We'll have to see if he can go. And, of course, Monday, that's the next home day for the Quad City Thunder against Charleston at 2:30 on Martin Luther King Day. An ESPN game, and Greg Jones, that's like a neighborhood game of pile-up.
Well, Sumter got pinned in over here on the near side, along the sidelines, and Jones came over to help him out. It looked more like a football play, didn't it? A little handoff to Jones cutting through the middle, and got a loose ball foul. And Troy Lewis makes his first appearance for the Thunder.
Troy Lewis, who was activated for last night's game, did not see a minute of playing time at all, but he is in there tonight. Sandal, inside and outside.
Troy Lewis, of course, an outstanding player with the Purdue Boilermakers for his college career. Came with the Thunder. He was their third-round draft choice, and then broke his wrist in the preseason.
Warwick buries it from the point. And it's 70-59, the Quad City Thunder with an 11-point game lead and a 5-point quarter lead after taking the first 2 quarters. Sandel against Patterson, leaves him in the dust, goes up against 3 men, and he will be fouled. Talk about drawing the crowd.
Sandel seems to like to go right to that basket. I'm sure that Coach Panaccio has told him, hey, you're our man inside right now. You're going to have to do the scoring. And so far, Chris, when he's gotten that ball, has taken it to the hoop.
One thing is clear about Sandel's past. Even though he may look intimidating, his parents were not buying it because they are both probation officers.
They've heard all the stories before.
That's right. Chris, just take the punishment, and we'll deal with it tomorrow. Sandel hits it.
He's a 90% foul shooter.
He's made a difference on this Thunder team. Mauro Panaccio wanted some inside scoring muscle, and Sandel has been proving that he can provide some. Alley-oop!
Well, Greg Jones was just too short. He read the play perfectly, but couldn't get up high enough to keep Turner from getting that alley-oop, and he just slammed it off.
Warwick to Henry Turner, the Cal State Fullerton grad who lives in Oakland. Alley-oop the other way. Well, I think that was one of those where you get caught up in the excitement of it. A nice steal from behind by Bowie. That's who created that entire mess. Warwick was coming up court. Bowie hustling from behind, knocked it away. It went out of bounds, and the Thunder will have possession.
Thunder trying to reorganize as they cut the lead to 4 here in the quarter. And as I said before, the Thunder have never taken a 7-0 victory, taking all 7 points in the game, and they'd sure like to get it tonight against Rochester.
Bowie, nice head fake off the glass.
When you're hot, you're hot, and that was just a nice move to the inside, got up and then banked it off the glass nice and soft and got the 2 points.
And getting back to, we were talking about free throws in the second quarter. Now, if they really wanted to make free throws hard, they should set it 15 feet away at an angle on the baseline.
Jim, you're making this game too complex.
Andre Patterson left wide alone, couldn't buy it. Sumter lost control after he tried for the rebound. That time Sandel said, hey, Andre, you want the shot? Go ahead, prove it to me. Andre did not prove it that time.
Andre's got the great leaping ability and is really tough around the basket, but a little bit more difficult when he moves outside.
That's bad defense by the Thunder. Mauro Panaccio does not want to have an inbounds pass. Lewis long outside, too hard. Greg Jones almost came up with a steal, but Warwick the other way in a hurry behind the back. Nice pass to Costner. Patterson should put this in, but he doesn't. Costner tries for it. Patio picks it up.
Thunder just undermanned underneath the boards. They didn't have the numbers. 4 Flyers there and only 1 for the Quad Cities, and suddenly they draw to within 2 here in the quarter.
Sandel doesn't buy it, and now the Rochester Flyers can tie the quarter at 21s if they buy a bucket. Patterson saves it. Thunder lead the ball game by 8. Patterson with a nice move, but he ran into Sumter, threw it up, and it doesn't go down. Costner has it, Sumter has it, and we have a jump ball.
That's almost like a sumo wrestling match there. You got Barry, Sumter, and Costner, 6'11" and 7 foot each. And they went down hard. I think we can feel the rumbling over here.
Patterson almost got the shot of the night to fall, and there you see the rebound try. And Sumter has his arm in there. And Costner says, would you care to stroll?
It was either a jump ball or a very sad karate move. I don't know which one.
So after the CBA version of slam dancing, we go to the jump ball. Thunder 8-5 on the road this year, trying to make it 9-5. But suddenly things seem to be slipping over to Rochester's side as far as momentum is concerned.
Once again, one of those dull spots that the Thunder seem to hit every so often.
The tip was controlled by Sumter, but it went out of bounds, and they'll say Rochester has it. That was one of those one of the hardest things in the world to do, and I don't know how many people know that, is throw a basketball up correctly on a jump ball. You rarely see it done.
And probably 90% of the time, one of the guys jumping will hit that ball before it hits its peak.
Patio tried to tie the quarter, couldn't get it. Great athletic ability by Bowie, who saved it and then got it up to Sandel, who lost it. Patterson, 2-on-1. We've got a whistle to stop everything, and they'll call Anthony Bowie, or Sandel, I should say, with the foul from behind.
And probably a smart move because they had the fast break going the other way, had a 2-on-1 with Barry Sumter back for the Thunder, and just a bad play. Every big guy wants to see if he can dribble that ball up the court, and that time it cost Sandel.
That was Scott Carlin, the head coach of the Rochester Flyers. You talk about paying your dues. He was an assistant coach in the CBA at Wyoming for 5 years before taking over full-time here this year. Patio had to change his mind. Patterson doesn't get it to fall, and now the Thunder are just not controlling the defensive boards.
Just not getting the same type of effort that we got earlier in this contest, and I just a bit surprised. And this is really the first time that we've seen Coach Panaggio up off the bench, and he's letting his feelings be known, as only Coach Panaggio can do.
Tony Costner played 2 years in Italy, 1 year in Spain. He is St. Joe's all-time leading scorer, but he didn't do it at the free throw line.
Well, he's shooting 65%, but this hasn't been a good night for Tony from the foul line.
The New Jersey native will try to make a 1 of 2, and he does. 73-66, Thunder lead it, but they only lead the quarter by 1. They took the first 2 quarters. Bill Jones, who came out red hot in the third quarter, has quieted down, as has all of his Thunder mates offensively for the last couple of minutes. Perry Young down the lane. It'll fall. What's the call? What's the call? Does Perry Young get the ball and the foul? Yes, he does.
And that one goes to Gerald Patio, and that is his 4th foul. Perry Young, a nice move. And I was just about to say that when he came into the league, and here he goes into the lane and he draws the foul as Patio tried to cut him off underneath and then turn around and say it was an offensive foul. That just wasn't the case.
There was no way, because he flew in from the left side of the lane.
Young converts on the foul shot.
76-66. Thunder lead it, and they have that quarter lead back up to 4. Gerald Patio. Now they work it on the other side, but Patio wants it. Doesn't have the touch. Sandel high for the rebound. We've got shoving underneath and a foul on Tony Costner for Rochester, who will talk with the official about it.
Well, anytime you see a guy as big as Barry Sumter go flying out of bounds, what's happened is he's gotten shoved, and that's what Costner did. He fended him off with one arm and tossed him underneath.
Tim Legler in the ball game now for Coach Scott Carlin.
Interesting lineup for the Thunder. Anthony Bowie playing point guard now, as Greg Jones has taken a seat on the bench. And it's Bowie and Jones at the guards, and Young and Sandel playing the forward with Sumter at center.
Barry Sumter. If you haven't heard his story, he played at Louisville before transferring to Austin Peay. He was a former high school All-American out of Lovejoy, Illinois, and he makes both free throws.
Only a 53% foul shooter, but he got both of them down.
Lead back up to 12 for the Thunder. Quarter lead back up to 6. Brian Warwick. Legler goes off a pick, but good defense by Sumter. Did you see him jump out there? He just denied him the shot. Patterson with the turnaround. No, there's Sumter again underneath the basket. Here comes Perry Young. To Bowie, pull up. No, Jones underneath, and he was looking for help, but he was fouled out front. It looked like Warwick got him. On the defensive segment down at the other end, Sumter stopped the jump shot that Legler wanted, went back under the hole, got the rebound, and kicked the transition game in.
Well, if you're looking at the Quad City Thunder and you look at Barry Sumter, you say his strengths are his defense and his rebound. He's not going to make it to the NBA on his ability to score because he's not a scorer, but he does a couple of things well. He runs the floor well, and he plays good defense.
Tony Brown, number 40, back in the ball game now for Rochester as Costner sets down, and Mike Richmond will also check in for the Flyers. Hello there.
And there's a young Flyer fan. Gee, you don't think they have blonde hair up here in the Nordic country? Minnesota's a beautiful state. I know if you don't like the cold, sometimes you don't think of it too much, but if you like the outdoors, this is the place to be. They break the press nicely, and Richmond will wait for his mates. Legler. Richmond had a 2-on-1, but decided to hold it instead.
Oh, nice move underneath, but he couldn't get it to fall. Turner could not. Here come the Thunder. Young, 1-on-2, spin move. He's fouled from behind. That was pretty good defense by Rochester, but the official said there was some body there.
And here you can see Perry Young. He's going to take it to the hoop now. The spin move here, and he actually ends up going 2-on-none. It looked like a good play, but thankfully for Young, he got the foul call, and he's going to go to the line.
Legler shut him off. Young can't get the free throw to fall. We have 1 minute, 36 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Thunder with a comfortable lead of 80-66, and they're trying for their third straight quarter win. They got over that second quarter bugaboo. Jones with the steal. The finger roll won't go. Sumter tips. No, again, Sumter. Barry Sumter with great effort. And this is the biggest lead of the night for the Thunder at 83-66. Long baseball pass to Brown. He threw it to the official.
Well, that was a nice play, actually, by Brown. You have to assume that your man is going to be at that spot on the floor. He got the ball, was off balance, threw it to where the man should have been, but nobody was home.
Well, this quarter's in the bag. Bill Jones working off Sumter, drops it off to Sumter. That's the shot they wanted, but good defense. Well, Brown forgot about it. Brown jumped out and played good defense, and then he left him, and Jones said, okay, second chance, fine.
You're going to give it to me? I'll take it.
85-66, 19-point vaults to the Thunder. Lead the quarter by 13, and now...
And this makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? They're down by 13 in the quarter, and they're holding the ball.
Legler comes off the pick and hits the jumper. With 45 seconds, the Thunder are running. Young, one-on-one, powers it up, can't get it to fall. Sumter's in there mixing it up again. Rebound coming out of there with it is Perry Young. Nice defensive play out front, though, and Turner's going to reap the benefits of his own defense. He knocked it away and then headed back down court.
Some of these fancy showboat dunks would mean a lot more if your team wasn't resting in last place in the Western Division.
85-70, Thunder with the basketball on the lead. Bill Jones looks up at the clock. Shot clock down to 10. Jones travels on the baseline.
Well, he tried to shake Legler on that one and just drug his foot.
Mr. Panazio a bit displeased with the call. I think what Morrow is telling the official is you've got to get his hands off of him.
Now, Bill Jones' strength is not his ability to take the ball, make a couple of moves, and get open. That is not his strength. He does so many other things well, but that is not his strength.
Warwick left alone to one-on-one with Bowie, and we've got a foul on Anthony Bowie. They cleared out the right side, and Warwick said, here we go.
And he beat him to the basket, and really Anthony did about the only thing he could at that point, and that was to hack him and keep him from putting in the basket.
Yeah, the Flyers got troubles. Michael Graham, their leading rebounder, is no longer on the active roster. As a matter of fact, the story goes that Mauro Panazio was interested in acquiring the power forward from Rochester, but talked with him for 5 minutes. Perry Young, he can't hit that, can he? Well, he almost did. We'll get back to that Graham story after we take a timeout. Our score at the end of 3 quarters, 85-72 Thunder. They have taken all 3 quarters, and things are looking good for Mauro Panazio's crew in Rochester. Back after this.
Rochester will have...
This duel right now belongs to the Thunder, 85-72. Everybody's a celebrity here.
Boy, that's something. I don't know if the Quad City Thunderbirds are going to want to start signing autographs too now.
Getting back to the Michael Graham story that we were talking about before we left for break. According to the way the story goes, Mauro Panazio got permission to talk with Rochester and talk with Michael Graham to see if, in fact, he was one of the power men he wanted for the Thunder. Panazio told the radio audience last night that he talked with Graham for 5 minutes, walked out of the room and said, no way do I want that kind of guy on my team. So that obviously doesn't speak well for Mr. Graham, and Rochester feels the same way because he's no longer on the active roster. I mean, Graham was one of those power forwards that you get a lot of rebounds out of, but he couldn't shoot worth a lick.
No, and they also seem to have a dissension problem because Jose Slaughter, one of their top scorers, is not with the team tonight, and he is just listed as ill.
Well, they're going to jump this over again. Apparently, the official's not pleased with the way it went the first time, so Sumter will jump it up with Tony Brown, and Sumter will control it to Bill Jones.
Well, you mentioned that's probably the hardest thing to do is to throw that ball up straight, and that's why anymore you don't see the jump ball used very often.
Down low, Sumter. He forgot the basketball. And it'll come the other way. Sumter wanted to go right and then left and spin back toward the baseline, but he forgot that all-important thing. We have 11:49 remaining in this one. Thunder up, but looking to win that 4th quarter and take their first 7-point victory of the season. Legler. This is Richmond. Not there. Rebound comes down to Young, and he's fouled from behind by Warwick. Well, Perry Young's gotten a lot of minutes in this one, and he's helped out.
And he's responded. He's gone to the hoop. He has 11 points on the game. Very balanced scoring through 3 quarters. Bill Jones has 18 now as he leads. Bowie 16, Sandel 15, and Greg Jones with 14.
The Thunder, I don't believe, have hit a 3-point shot, but they will hit one this way, inside, because Perry Young got it to fall off the glass and was fouled. If he can make that free throw, it's a 3-pointer. Jones has been quiet from outside.
Okay, we'll take a look at it here. There he is. He turns, goes up, and it's a typical move. You lean into your man, force him to commit, and you draw the foul.
And oftentimes, even if the man is standing as straight as an oak, with his arms straight in the air, he'll still get the whistle
called for the
him.
foul.
Perry Young does get the 3-point play. 88-72, Thunder with the lead. They break the press by going to the middle. Turner couldn't quite get it to Richmond, so they have to wait again. This is Legler. He's got the shot, but he does not have the right aim. Rebound underneath Turner. And Barry Sumter comes out of there with it to Jones, who will not slow. He'll go all the way down. Not a good shot by Bill Jones that time, as he missed everything. I bet you Patio shoots it. No, I was wrong. He got it over to Richmond, but great defense by Young. Young just stepped in the passing lane and took it away. Mauro Panazio telling Greg Jones what he wants done.
One of those situations where the Thunder, although they have a comfortable 16-point lead, are still using the full court press because you want to get that other quarter point. It was tough the other night. They came away with a 5-2 victory, but then turned around, and at the same time, Rockford is taking all 7 points. So both teams come away with a win, but the Thunder still lose ground in the standings.
Coach Carlin sends in Andre Patterson, the former Quad City Thunder member. Thunder came in tonight with a record of 16-8, trying to make it 17-8. Looks like they will do that unless the bottom falls out, and they have not started off well here in the 4th quarter.
But, of course, neither have the Flyers, as they haven't scored yet.
Bill Jones thought he had a steal, but instead he will pick up the personal foul. A reminder again for you folks back in the Quad Cities. First of all, we want to thank you for listening on and watching on KLJB, and secondly, we want to invite you to the Wharton Fieldhouse Monday afternoon at 2:30 for the game against Charleston. It'll be on ESPN. Legler inside. Gravity did not prevail.
And of course, in that game, Thunder hoping that a good showing on television for ESPN will net them the All-Star game next year. So they want a big crowd, and it's Martin Luther King Day. Kids aren't in school, and they're offering $1 off to high school students and younger.
Jones will throw it up, but he won't get it, but he will be fouled out front.
Yeah, if they can prove their age, hey, they'll get $1 off on their tickets for Monday's game.
Well, the Flyers came out in this one. It started well in the early going, jumping out to an 11-4 lead, but then the Thunder righted themselves. Greg Jones will get a pair. Jones, of course, played in the WBL.
He was
For Youngstown.
He was just kind of taking some time off during this early part of the season. He said he played basketball for 3 straight years. He just wanted a little breathing room. Said he got to spend the holidays home for the first time in a long time.
Penetrating the other way was Patio, but he couldn't get it to fall. It's a 2-on-1. Nice bounce pass to Jones. He missed the layup because of good defense by Tim Legler. Legler got a hand in there and made Jones change hands. Andre Patterson posting up, getting it. I'll tell you a funny story. The man who just took the shot, Andre Patterson, stands 6'8", but he, like Greg Jones, played in the World Basketball League last summer, which is a league of 6'4" and under players. You figure it out.
It's listed as 6'4". You can be 6'4" and 7/8 and still play as long as you're not 6'5", but gee,
Sandel lost the handle.
Gets in there.
Yeah, I know what you... Oh, Sandel lost the handle, got it back, twirled and threw it up. I thought I heard a whistle, but everybody seemed to kind of freeze there.
It looked like play had stopped, but I guess not.
Patterson with another fadeaway, and we've got a whistle.
And it looks like they called timeout before.
Well, the Thunder have things well in hand. They lead the quarter 7-2. They lead the game 92-74. We've got 8:56 remaining from Rochester. back on your Thunder station after this. CBA action from Rochester.
And you'll see Andre Patterson posting up down low. He takes the feed from Legler, turns around, almost loses control, but puts up the one-hander. Gets 2 for the Flyers.
+2. So you each win 4 tickets, okay?
And again, in case they didn't get the message in the first quarter, Andre wanted to send his hellos to the Dixon family in Davenport.
Please report to the south end of the arena, and they'll strike you out.
Things have gone the Thunder's way so far in this contest. It's been a typical hard-fought game. At times they've looked kind of sloppy, but boy, there's no quit in the Thunder. They just keep battling, and somehow they seem to get the job done. And once again, they've had another fine season.
And sometimes what looks sloppy is partly a result of the team you're playing and the tempo they're kind of setting.
And when we say sloppy, you have to remember, too, that the Thunder have a lot of new players on their roster, too, and they've got to get adjusted.
Jones with a nice pass to Perry Young. I don't know what the steal total is for the Thunder, but they've gotten quite a few tonight.
Now they're double teaming. I'm sorry, Jim. They're double teaming well, slapping it away, and boy, that's how you start a fast break. You start it by rebounding, or you start it by defense.
Another bad pass, and Jones will cross-court it to Greg Jones for 3 off the glass. No, that's a little bit too hard. Rebound comes down to Gerald Patio. Nice bounce pass to Legler. All the way down. That'll count.
And that foul's going to go against Barry Sumter, who tried to come in and cut him off at the pass, but a nice little move with the ball by Legler. Freed it up, and he got the basket, and he drew the foul.
Rochester's going to need a lot more of these.
And there goes Legler as he came in, and you can see Sumter cut in front of him, pick up the foul, and Legler put it in.
Legler converts the three-point play. He gives the Flyers 77, but the Thunder are trying for their 95th and 96 points of the night on this trip down. Perry Young, with that move he made before, he is hammered by Andre Patterson.
And it looks like that Warwick might have turned an ankle as he came down on the side of somebody's foot. He's hobbling around just a little bit, trying to walk it off. You know, the Flyers really aren't a very high-scoring team. In fact, they are the only team in the CBA that isn't even averaging 100 points per game.
They stand at 98 per contest as compared to the Quad City Thunder's 116. There you see Warwick testing that ankle.
First shot by Young is off, and Young is a 50% foul shooter on the year, and he's done just about that this evening.
The former Virginia Tech college player, Troy Lewis, the Purdue prepster.
He's getting his first PT tonight after 2 games, or after the first game on the bench.
I guess you can't say he's a prepster if he went to Purdue. A collegiate would be the correct thing to say. Turnaround by Patterson wasn't even close, and here comes Greg Jones out of the pack. Contact up close, but nothing called. Over to Lewis. Lewis passes it nicely down to Sandel. He is fouled down low.
Nice play that time. Dished it down to Sandel, who made the power move to the basket, and Brown really had no other alternative other than to foul it.
The quarter lead right now stands at 9-5 for the Thunder, and you lose track of that when the game gets a little bit out of hand, as this one is, because the Thunder leading by 17 points. But in order to win all 7 points in the standings available in this game, they have to play this quarter just like they did the first one, the second one, and the third one.
Well, it does a couple of things. It keeps the interest in for the fans because every quarter is a new game within itself. Also, it creates headaches for the coaches who, gee, it'd be nice. You've got 4 games in 5 days. You've got a nice 18-point lead sitting here, but yet you can't take it easy because you need that extra point here in the fourth quarter.
7:40 remaining in this fourth quarter. Turner with a spin move and a nice pass to Patterson, but it's stripped away down low. Like Jones had a hand in that one. Greg Jones. It would have to have been Greg because
Bill's on the bench.
Has been replaced by Troy Lewis. They're setting up Perry Young one-on-one. He'll go baseline. There's that fadeaway shot he likes. Ooh, Sandel almost got a terrific jam. Lewis inside. He's hammered, and he'll go to the free throw line. Sandel, he loves to fly, doesn't he?
And don't you like players like that? Don't you like those guys that love to take it in and make those slams over the top of their opponents?
It's not that easy. When one gets done correctly, it looks phenomenal, but when one doesn't get done correctly, it hits the back of the rim and bounces out about 20 feet, and everybody's going, Oh, man.
And if you're a solo and you do that, you get a few raspberries from the crowd.
Troy Lewis still looking for his first point as a member of the Quad City Thunder. If Troy has a negative to his game, it's his foot speed. That's what you hear scouts saying all the time, and he's trying to prove that foot speed isn't everything. So Troy's on the Thunder board, 96-77 our score. Quarter score in favor of the Thunder at 11-5. Young with good defense on Legler. Way outside is Legler, and that's way off the mark, but Patterson will get the garbage. Nothing inside, so Legler will go back to Patterson. Finger roll won't go. That ball was not headed for the basket. There will not be a goaltending call, just a personal foul on Sandel.
Once again, Sumter managed to get a finger on that ball and deflect just enough of it to keep it from going in.
Mauro Panagio will go to his bench, and he will send in Nate Johnston. And again, we have to reiterate that Nate's game has slipped away in the last couple of weeks.
And there goes Patterson in, and you can see Sumter come across and just get enough of that to deflect it away from the basket.
So Sandel will check out. Tony Costner will come in for Rochester. Johnston in, along with Young, Sumter, Greg Jones, and Troy Lewis for Mauro Panagio. Patterson currently resides in L.A. when he's not on the CBA trail. Jones the other way.
Patterson's got kind of one of those L.A. haircuts, too, doesn't he? He's got a few grooves there in his side.
Nate Johnston trying to make something happen, and he does. Tough shot. He drove left and then hit it with his right hand, fading away.
He has got some great natural ability. The Division II All-American from Tampa.
Legler buries it. 98-81, the Thunder in control by 17. Not totally in control of the quarter, however, because they only lead that by 4. A whistle away from the ball, and we've got a foul called on Nate Johnston. They say he was throwing what he shouldn't be down low.
I gave him an elbow. He's trying to break free, take that pass from Greg Jones, and got caught.
The only thing you can throw down low legally is verbal abuse, but that only to your opponent, not to the official. Patterson spins, puts up a difficult shot. Costner missed the tip. Ball comes out to Greg Jones. It's a 2-on-2, and now Johnston fills the other lane. Great bounce pass over to Lewis. Jones threaded the needle.
Great play there as he penetrated into the middle and did a bounce pass around the flyer and gave Lewis the easy bucket.
As you call him, Greg Blue-Collar Jones. He just keeps getting it done, doesn't he? Comes in, does what's expected of him, fade away at the other end. Turner racks up 2 for the Flyers.
Now you talk to Greg Jones and you swear that he is the easiest going guy that you will ever meet. He is just unbelievably easy going, just takes things as they come.
Well, Lewis tried to fade away, but never had much of a chance at it. Legler will miss with too much iron. Well, that was kind of a strange-looking pass, as Warwick couldn't decide what to do with it. Now Warwick has it back, can't get it to fall. Patterson has it. This game getting a little out of hand as far as both teams are concerned.
A lot of standing around at this stage of the game as, both teams a little bit weary. They played a tough game. The Thunder with a nice 17-point lead, but the quarter game is still up for grabs, and there you can see as Patterson tried to go up for the shot that the Young, as he stripped it, caught him on the arm.
Yeah, the quarter's still in doubt, though. It's still, if he makes both of these, it would be just a 2-point lead in the quarter, but now Patterson can make it just 3.
And, of course, if he makes this last one, Jim, it'll be a 3-point lead for the Thunder.
I was noticing Bill Jones come back in the ballgame, and that's why, because Morrow wants this point. I mean, it all comes down to points at the end of the season as to making the playoffs, and then not only that, but who you're matched up with in the playoffs.
And just like in every other sport, the better off you are, the better you will be for home court advantage.
And we all know the advantage that the Thunder have in Wharton, because it is leading the league in attendance. Again Jones, again Lewis.
Nice play, and the Flyers caught standing around as Jones was able to penetrate into the paint, and he just dished it off to Lewis, who got the easy one.
Turner baseline, not this time after a good body fake. Sumter one-handed, or tried to get one-handed rebound. The ball got away, and Turner put it back up and in. Jones again almost had it knocked away from behind by Costner. Bill Jones in the middle of Barry. Yeah, Barry Sumter buries it. It's 104-85, Quad City Thunder.
And you get that kind of a play out of Barry, and that is just a plus as he took it in the lane and got the easy one.
Legler from outside.
Well, that's why they've got Legler. He shoots 43% from the field, but he also is their best three-point shooter, hitting 11 of 32.
That's a game of horse right now for the Rochester Flyers. They just got to come down and put it up. There's only 3:50 remaining in the game. Johnston has a clear out. He'll take the baseline. Won't get it, but he'll get fouled, and how?
He got hammered as he went in, and if you have never seen Nate take it to the hoop and do one of his spectacular slam dunks, I think we were all primed for it there, but it didn't happen.
It's amazing how many times, and we didn't catch it quite right there, but you did catch the impact of the foul, how many times a defensive man will let that baseline open when there's just a foot between himself and the line. He'll take that fake to the inside where in actuality all of his help is and let that baseline open, and that drives coaches nuts. I mean, the baseline is your friend. Use it to shut the man down.
That's right. That's what you're taught all the way through basketball, is to use that as another defensive man. Johnson shoots 76% from the foul line.
The Quad City Thunder will be 9-5 on the road after this ball game is over, and they will be 17-8 on the campaign unless the Flyers ring up about 10 three-pointers in a hurry. 106-88. The corner lead also in the Thunder's corner, 21-16. Warwick sets up the defense, or I should say the offense against the Thunder defense. And Warwick is open down the lane, wide open as a matter of fact.
At that time, the Flyers used great patience, worked the ball in and out, and then found the open man Warwick in the lane and got the easy 2 points.
Jones with a bad pass, and here come the Flyers. Turner all the way. This will be fancy time.
Now they're Thunder now with only a 1-point lead. And Coach Panaggio is not happy. As we've mentioned throughout this broadcast, they're trying to come away with their first 7-point game of the season. They haven't been able to do it all year long.
Panaggio checking that quarter clock. It says Thunder 21, Rochester 20. Nate Johnston will force it up. Not necessarily a wise move on Nate's part, but he gets the benefit of the personal foul against Gerald Patio.
Now, Nate didn't lower his shoulder, which is the kiss of death. As you'll see as he goes in there, he bangs into Gerald Patio, and it could have gone either way. We'll be honest about it.
And the Mayo Civic Center resounds with boos. Right now, we're going to take a break and come back with a final 2:53. The Thunder lead at 106-92, but the fourth quarter still hanging in the balance. Huddle here on KLJB, and I don't know what he was drawing up, but it better be about a 15-point play.
It's amazing what you can do with those connected dots, isn't it?
George's number 3466. Report to the
Now, to be honest right now, the Flyers are simply playing for the quarter point. They trail the Thunder by 21-20 here in the fourth quarter, and, you know, they're just trying to salvage what they can.
And Patio still in disagreement, like most of the Rochester fans here, with that last call as Nate Johnston drove the lane, and Patio thought he had position.
Well, Nate dropped his shoulder a little bit as he went into the lane, and those kind of calls can go against you.
Johnston gets the kind roll, and the quarter now stands at 22-20 in favor of the Quad City Thunder.
Now Greg Jones trading places with Bill Jones.
Bill's got a smile on his face. Why not?
Yeah, he's the team's leading scorer, leads the league in field goal percentage. He's having a great year for a rookie.
The Flyers will work it up. Legler against the double team, goes all the way baseline and has it taken away by Johnston. Johnston quickly has it almost knocked away, gets it back. He finds Lewis. That'll go.
Well, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't textbook, but Nate finally got control of it, found the open man, and they got the basket.
Warwick did his best to mess up the transition game, and he almost did it, but somehow the Thunder got it back, and Johnston just kept it going, and Lewis gets his second bucket of the night. 2:19 remaining in the game. Warwick finds no one inside, so Turner will try from the outside. Ooh, what a rebound. Check that. That was Patio from the corner, not Turner. It was Turner who tried to get the rebound.
Went up high, got it, but just couldn't control it. And I'll tell you what, you see the Thunder here pressing again with 2 minutes left to go in the game, and that's Coach Panaggio's way of getting the troops fired up again.
Lewis with a pass to Sumter, but he couldn't quite hang on to it. There's Jones. Look at this guy. He'll throw it up and hit it.
And he only took 2 or 3 steps going through the lane, but give him credit. He battled all the way, and once again, it's Bill Jones who comes up with a loose ball, and he got the basket.
So the quarter now in a much safer position with 1:46 remaining. The Thunder lead the quarter by 7 in the game, 112 to 92 as Costner hits the turnaround.
Nice little shot by Costner as it came through the lane, and the coach is probably going to be wondering where was that all night.
Well, he's just not a shooter. I mean, they don't go to him for that. But now it's desperation time. Jones almost had it taken away, put it up, couldn't get it to fall, but he'll go to the free throw line.
And I think Costner's going to pick up that foul as he reached in. And you can tell a little bit of fatigue there as they reach in instead of trying to move the feet and get in the way and draw the charging foul.
Herb Blunt will now check in for the Quad City Thunder as Barry Sumter will probably rest out the rest of this one. And Herb never quite got his feet wet tonight. He did last night against Rochester inside with a couple of jams, but tonight every time they went low post to Herb Blunt, he tried to work one-on-one against the likes of Tony Brown and Tony Costner, and they're both good defensive specialists with a lot of experience, and they basically took it to it.
If you're going to take that ball in the middle, you're going to have to learn to get rid of it quick. Last night he made the quick move. Tonight he tried to play around with it a little bit, and he got stripped.
Warwick for 3. So Warwick makes the quarter interesting again. It's 29-25 Thunder. Jones all the way, gets it blocked by Costner, but they say he got him with the knee, and I believe that is the correct call. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on instant replay or not.
And here we go.
But watch Costner's leg. He'll just ram it.
Well,
actually, more with the body.
Well, there it is. There's that body call again. But Jones not afraid at all to take it down among the big guys and put it up.
115-97. Quad City Thunder in front. Troy Lewis. It's got to be strange for Troy because he hasn't played for so long. Broke the wrist in training camp. And now trying to get back in the flow. There's only one way to do it, and that's to do it. 116-97, Thunder. Up by 6 in the quarter. 1 minute, 8 seconds remaining. Patio. Big guy.
There's no doubt about it, that guy can shoot.
Well, he proved that. Every Iowa basketball fan in Iowa City remembers Patio in that Final Four game, although UNLV got some big points inside as well.
Well, Legler.
Armin Gillis, was that it?
Yeah, Armin Gillis.
Lewis the other way, not this time. Nate Johnston almost had the rebound, but now he's going to pick up the personal foul, or will Costner? Costner and Nate both went up for it. The way Costner's reaction.
And these Flyer fans,
that's a 6.
And these Flyer fans are not pleased at all with the way this game has gone here. Probably 3 calls in a row there, as you can see him battling underneath. And Costner looked like it could have gone either way, but Costner got called for it, and that's 3 fouls in a row that could have gone either way that have gone against Rochester. And I guess when things are going bad, that's just the way it happens.
Scott Carlin really hasn't put up a lot of flack as far as the officiating is concerned tonight. He does it in a more quieter way than does Coach Panazio. And Coach Panazio has been seemingly content on that Thunder bench tonight, and why not? He's about 56 seconds away from picking up 7 points in the standings, but remember, it's still only a 4-point difference in the quarter, now 5, thanks to Nate Johnston.
And you've got to wonder about this Rochester team, a team that going into the All-Star break won 4 out of 6 games, came out and has won 1 out of 3, and apparently has some dissension in the ranks.
They're going to have to hit this one if they want to get a point tonight. Legler doesn't. Rebound Blunt. Blunt will clear it away to Greg Jones. Greg says, well, time is on our side. Don't forget that next Thunder game right here on KLJB. Next Thursday night at La Crosse. We'll take the air at 7:30. Greg Jones out front, little contact. That was a Houdini act. He had it knocked away, picked it up, and scored. So everything is going the Thunder's way tonight. Bill McKinney, an NBA scout, will be our post-game interview. You want to stay with us for that and for all the wrap-up and scores. 9 seconds, 8 seconds. The Thunder will just play a little catch. Lewis looks at the clock. He doesn't want to put up the 3-pointer. He'll just eat it, and that's your ball game. 119-99. The Quad City Thunder win it by 20, and more importantly, have their first 7-point victory of the campaign, winning every quarter. We'll come back and take a look at some of the totals and more after this on KLJB.